because this dude came like 2 hours ago. I guess his girl left or whatever, and he's like, "Hey man, it's an emergency. Can I charge my phone real quick? Because my girl left the charger." So I was like, "All right, come back in an hour." So that was like at like 9:30, and so I'm like, "Dude, he's gonna be stuck because I'm starting service right now." So I tried to go to a room service and leave the phone with them, but they want to call the number, but I'm not going to be late for service. So it's like you try to help someone out and they mess you over. So he's going to be knocking on the door trying to get his phone, and I'm going to be in the middle of service. Hey, it's just tough cookies. I'm not going to stop service because you can't respect. Yep, that's what I probably should do. I got a piece of paper. I'll do that right now. So, all right, but I'm pressed live right now, so it should be rocking shortly. All right, man. Oh yeah. And they said they flagged it for false information. It's video of the courts dragging them. Like, how is this false? But it's all Photoshop. It's all CGI. So, all right, man. Yeah, I'm already pressed live, so I'm probably leave the note and then get busy. All right, shalom. Shalom. Give it like a couple minutes for people to get on. Shalom, everyone. Bear with me. So, you guys probably heard some of the story. This guy was like, "Oh man, can I charge my phone? My girl left, took my charger. Can I charge it for 2 hours and come back?" I was like, "Come back in an hour," because I got service. Sure enough, I'm studying. I'm like, this dude's gonna be out. This thing's gonna be out of luck because I'm not stopping service because you don't know how to do time management. So it is what it is. He's just going to be out that phone past in 2 hours because the word's going to go forth regardless. But shalom, Jehoshaphat, Judah. Appreciate you, Brother Vince, Sister Gia. Sister Whitney should be on. I don't know where she's at. So I bear with me, I am late. And we'll just get started right away. Praise the Almighty. We're dealing with idolatry, part 3. There will be a part 4. As I was studying, I was like, man, there's no way I'm going to finish all this because I don't want to cramp all this information just in one and then the last part. So we'll be Idolatry Part 4. If you haven't seen Part 1 or 2, please check out Part 1 or 2. Because this one we're going to be too far in. I'll do a light recap, and then we're gonna just run and go with idolatry from there. Shalom, shalom, everyone. So bear with me. I was late because people without time management. Anyway, so welcome to True Hebrews United of the Almighty Yeshua. This beloved holiness instructor, discipleship drill sergeant. About to get into the book as usual. Definitely give all honors to the Almighty, Creator of all things, Yah, through His Son Yeshua HaMashiach, the only begotten of the Father. Definitely double honors to the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers, the elders, the bishops, the deacons across the whole planet, teaching, keeping this word, living holy, living righteous, unto the Almighty, getting people to repent from their sins. All the brothers and sisters, keeping the commandments, statute, judgment, precepts, and ways. Hopefully this connection is good, because it's saying slow connection. I appreciate you guys. I want you guys to make it into the kingdom. I want you guys to be saved. Also, shout out to the people on the Facebook and YouTube that share and like and subscribe and comment. Emojis. I appreciate you guys. I want you guys to make it into the kingdom. Please find a congregation, find some brothers and sisters that will love you unto salvation. I am not the only one, but I'm one of many, but also one of few. So, with all that said being done, let's let the fingers do the walking and the scriptures do the talking. So, dealing with idolatry, we recap the first on part 1. Recap definitely on, whether you have a graven image or whether you worship a graven image or whether you do both, it's still idolatry. Get rid of those Nike shoes. Get rid of the Starbucks coffee, Dirt Devil vacuum, wizards, devils jerseys, all that stuff. That witchcraft, some of those food, angel food cake, all that stuff. Manna, all that. Any video games that has witchcraft and stars and summoning demons and all this stuff. Get rid of that stuff. Leave that stuff alone. So let's get it. 1 John chapter 5. Recap a little bit. 1 John chapter 5. And starting at verse 21. 1 John chapter 5, verse 21. It says, little children, keep yourself from idols. Let it be so. So, we already dealt with that a little bit. What is an idol? All that stuff in part 1, as well as part 2. So, let's go with Deuteronomy chapter 18. Deuteronomy chapter 18. Once again, you're going to just have to run. Please check out 1 and 2 if you have not checked out those, because I'm skipping. I'm not going to be recapping too much. Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 9. Deuteronomy 18, verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Almighty thy Yah giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abomination of those nations. Thou shalt not be found among you any of them that make his son or daughter to pass through the fire, so you're offering your child to a sacrifice to a false god. Or uses divination, which you're dealing with demons, or devils, or evil spirits. So you're still showing some kind of worship. Or observer of times, which we're going to deal with, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer, bringing spirits back from the dead. So he ties all this into idolatry, because indirectly or directly you're worshiping other gods. Almost every witch has to do some level of sacrifice, whether they're cutting the head off of a chicken or whether you're making your child pass through the fire and sacrificing your child to do a love spell and everything. We're going to deal with that in a little bit. So you're still sacrificing to idol gods. These demons and these devils aren't going to give you abilities or answer your petitions without giving some level of sacrifice and false worship. You will have to pull yourself away from the Most High to get the blessings of these demons, right? If that's what you call it. So, are an observer of times, the horoscope people, and you'll see people that say they believe in the Most High, and they say, what, are you a Capricorn, or you're Tarses, or I don't know what that stuff is, right? No, I'm not neither of that stuff. That's tied into idolatry and that's tied into witchcraft. He put all that in the same bucket. If you look at this, all that is in the same group of idolatry. Oh, I don't worship. If you make a circle with a star in it and you put some potions or you sacrifice some blood, you're making a sacrifice. We give a sacrifice of praise to the Most High. And in the Old Covenant, we sacrifices bullocks and rams. It's sheep to the Most High. You and your witchcraft, you're sacrificing to the devil. You're an observer of time and all this stuff. Where did all that stuff come from? Oh, you were born at this time? Oh, a chikalaka and a chikaboom, they don't get along together because our temperaments are different. And they go with all this stuff. And there's people that live their life and they check their daily, oh, the love of my life is going to come. They worship in this stuff. They worship in this stuff. It says that a great change is going to happen. Worship in that stuff. And that's borderline fortune telling or palm reading, because I live by horoscopes. But let's keep going. I'll show you why it's false. Give me Jeremiah chapter 1. Jeremiah chapter 1. Verse 4, Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. The word of the Almighty came unto me, saying, Before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and before thou came forth out of the womb I sanctified thee, and ordained thee a prophet unto all nations. So one, it says, before I formed you in your mother's belly, before you conceived, before the sperm met the egg, before that, right? Before consummation, right? He said, I knew you. Let's keep going. That's why we don't deal with abortions either. Ephesians chapter 1. And we're going to be a little abstract today because I think this is a topic we need to deal with, because whether us or our kids, so please pay the utmost attention. Oh, shalom, Ja San Enriquez. Ephesians chapter 4, chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed be the Yah and Father of our Lord Yeshua Mashiach, who have blessed us with the spiritual blessing in heavenly places in Mashiach, according as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy without blame before him in love. So before he formed the world, he already knew us. So if the sun and the moon and the stars were made on the fourth day, he made the earth, and on the fourth day he made the sun and the moon and the stars. Why are you going off the sun and the moon and the stars to dictate what's going to happen to you, and if you're going to find your love, or if you're going to be blessing, or this is my temperament, or these type of people are introverts, and these type of people are outgoing, these type of people are visionaries, or they say all this stuff. Why would you go by the horoscopes and the sun and the moon and the stars? If he knew you before he made the sun and the moon and the stars. He knew you before he made the sun and the moon and the stars. He knew how you were going to be. He knew how you were going to act. He knew if you're going to be saved. He called you to be holy and without blame. But yet, I'm still going to go by that. That makes zero sense. So, let's keep going. Also, now, like I said, we're going to deal with, once again, witchcraft, idolatry, observer of times, graven images, the pharmacy companies. Pharmacies. Now, here's the gray area with that. Because witchcraft is still a sign of idolatry. You are still serving and giving, what's a good word I can use? Giving respect or honor to an evil spirit, or to a devil, or a demon, or an evil spirit, right? Let's deal with pharmacy, and we're going to deal with the gray area, and we're going to get deep into this. All right. There we go. Pharmacy, or pharma, is the Hebrew word for pharmakia, which you guys probably already know. Here's some definitions for it. The use or administering of drugs. Number 2, poisoning. Number 3, sorcery. Magical arts, often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it, fortified by idolatry. This is why you could say someone worships Mother Mary and someone practices witchcraft. And even though the person that doesn't worship anything, but they practice witchcraft, they are given homage, or they are given respect to a demon or the devil. So you're still worshiping it directly or indirectly. This is why when people celebrate Christmas and they, in their mind, they don't think they're committing idolatry. Yes, because Christmas comes from a pagan god. So directly or indirectly, you're still giving homage and respect for that day and credence to a false god, right? I don't think I dealt with the feast days, how these feast days, look at these origins. Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, all this comes from pagan gods, right? So, here's the gray area, because we could say, so what are we supposed to do? Don't take medicine, don't do this. Here's the gray area. Just like Satan, just like the Almighty has prophets, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Moses, Satan has soothsayers, fortune tellers, palm readers, tarot card readers, and they tell things that come to pass as well. So this is where we define the difference between a prophet or a fortune teller or an observer of times or a palm reader or a psychic. Because both of these people, even in the Bible, it says both of these people could tell things that's going to come to pass in your life. And you're like, man, God must be with this person because he said that, and it came to pass. How is this possible? Right? So, bringing that back to pharma or pharmakia. Let's bring that back. So, the big gray area. Let's deal with the facts, because I don't want to go as far as saying, you know what, don't go to the pharmacy or don't take medicine. So let's deal with the facts, and then we're going to get into the scriptures dealing with this stuff. So these are the facts dealing with these companies when you go to the hospital or whatnot, right? Some of these things are addictive. Some are not for permanent use. Some are not for permanent health. Meaning they make stuff to where they want you to take for the rest of your life. Some are mind altering. My buddy had a drug. He was taking a drug. It was a person I work with. And one of the side effects, it said, could change your sexual preference. So he stopped taking it. I wish I knew what he's taking it for. I think he was taking it for because he had anxiety. And so once he realized that could be a side effect, he stopped taking it. So it could cause chemical or hormonal imbalance permanently. We know that some drugs leave you open to possession. If you look at meth, or you look at crackheads, or you look at some of these people, their soul or their temple is open for possession. It says even when you cast out a demon, when an unclean demon, and I'm going fast because maybe I can make this part 5. It says when an unclean demon leaves a person, it goes into dry places. And when he sees that that person is empty, you're not full with the Ruach HaKodesh, he comes back and brings 7 other demons worse than themselves. So how do people open themselves up for possession? I'm not really sure all the time, because I do see, we don't have enough scripture, but I do see where kids are possessed too. And kids typically are innocent. So what made that kid be able to be possessed versus other children, But I do, and I have seen, mainly anecdotal, where drugs, mind-altering drugs, leave them open for possession. So not all drugs is beneficial for the body. So we're going to deal with the facts, and then we're going to have to deal with this gray area. Having ingredients that defile us. We know that a lot of these vaccinations have pork in it, have heavy metals in it. and could change some stuff. I don't want to get flagged today because they're already trying to flag me already because I put up a post on BitChute that literally shows footage of court cases and somehow it's flagged, but whatever, right? So there's some stuff that could defile you when you go to that hospital and make you outside the will of the Most High. These are all the facts. And I already dealt with the heavy metals could calcify your pineal gland. There we go. So now let's go with what we do know scripturally. What we do know scripturally. Because pharma could be used for poison and for drugs, and it could be used for sorceries and witchcraft, fortified by idolatry. So we could be going to these hospitals and committing idolatry. So there's a gray area. Give me Proverbs 17. Let's go with verse 22. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine. So it says, another one will say laughter is like a good medicine, but it says a merry heart. When you tell jokes or a comedian, it says it's good to you like a medicine. So it used the word medicine in the context of bringing health. So we do know biblically, medicine has been for thousands of years to help sicknesses and diseases. We do understand this. But let's keep going. Jeremiah chapter 8. Verse 22. Jeremiah 8, 22. There is no balm in Gilead, and there is no physician there. Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered? There's no balm. There's no physician. Balm is another word for ointment, and we're going to deal with ointment in a little bit. There is no physician. So one, we know that we had what they call doctors now, are physicians for thousands of years. And we know we had medicine, or balm, or some kind of ointment to help or a sickness or a disease, right? Or an ailment. We'll just say an ailment, right? Let's keep going. Matthew chapter 19. This all ties, because I was going to do a Bible study on obesity again too. But even the medicine in and of itself, and I'm not going to ruin it too much, when they came out of the wilderness, he healed all sicknesses and diseases. And when we come out of, when Mashiach came, he healed all sicknesses and diseases. And it says when we eat the tree of life in the kingdom, it says that we will be healed. We will be healed. It's not the Almighty's will for us to be sick. It says when you take on the Passover unworthily, that's why many of you are sick and weak and die early. So his will is for us to be healthy. So if that's his will, how can we live why would you do things like lack of exercise and eating like trash, which makes you unhealthy, but still think you're in his will when he did nothing but heal people? Leprosy, sicknesses, diseases, cast out. His whole will is for us to be healthy. But I'll say that for another Bible study. Anyways. Matthew 9:12. But when Yeshua heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not for a physician, but they that are sick. So physician is for people that are sick, that have ailments. So, we'll start right there because it says, oh, why do you go to the sinners or whatnot? So he's showing you that, one, we had physicians, back in the day, and they came to heal people that were sick. And we see that we had balm and we had medicine, and it was really what an apothecary, he made ointments. But let's deal with that right now. Now give me Exodus chapter 30. And we'll start at verse 25. And this is all going to come back to idolatry, I'm telling you. This all stems. Exodus 30, verse 25. And thou shalt make it an oil of holy ointment, an ointment compound after the art of the apothecary, and it shall be a holy anointing oil. So the apothecary made ointments. Now, not all ointments were the same. In this context, it was to consecrate the holy things of the tabernacle and Aaron and the things that they used, right? And you couldn't make that same type because those ingredients he used was only for that. Let's go to another scripture. I'm not going to deal with all the scriptures. An apothecary made perfumes. Like, you know how we use Axe body spray? That's what if you broke. You use the little Axe and it's quick. You know what I'm saying? If you have some money, you use the little $200 ones or whatever, right? Or ladies that use perfumes, apothecaries did that. So we had physicians, kind of like what you call a doctor. He'll diagnose the problem and he will suggest a treatment. Now, who does the treatment? Typically, an apothecary makes ointments. So you go to the apothecary and you say, hey, I got this rash, or I got this, or I got this. And they say, all right, take this, do that, put this on. And the apothecary was what they call now a pharmacist. But they didn't practice witchcraft. These were the holy, the righteous medicine man. And then you got the pharmacy company, the unrighteous. We got the right prophets, and then you got the soothsayers and the fortune tellers. Now, both of them tell things that come to pass, but one gets that information from the devil, and a prophet of the Most High gets their information from the Most High. Follow me with this. Two types of medicine people. Let's keep going. So, Isaiah chapter 1. Verse 6. From the sole of thy foot even to the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. That means they're sick because they were sinning. They were sick. You know what I'm saying? They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. To put ointment on, put medicine on your wounds. Let's keep going. Give me Jeremiah. I already did Jeremiah 8 and 22, so we'll stop there. He dealt with balm, and balm also, if you look up the definition of balm, that's also ointment as well. So now that is tropical. It's applied. But medicine could be oral. Medicine could be where they give you a shot. There's nothing sinful in and of itself of medicine. So how, if pharmacy or pharma could be derived from sorcery or witchcraft or drugs or poisoning, and we know that medicine is in the Bible, but almost every single hospital or every CVS or Walgreens and everything has a pharmacy, which literally means sorcery. How do we separate what to do? Because there is a huge gray area. We know that medicine exists, ointments exist, physicians exist, apothecaries and doctors exist in the Old Testament. And they exist now. So let's go back to how Satan does things. And I cannot give you a concrete answer. A lot of this is going to come by prayer and fasting. But I'm going to give you as much information as possible, and hopefully you can make the best decisions on what situation you're in, because your daughter or your mom or you may be diagnosed with something, and I don't know your options, and I don't know your treatments, and I don't know what's available for you. So I'm just going to give you general information, because we want to keep ourselves from being in idolatry, the number one sin, which I'll deal with that on part 4. We want to keep ourselves pure and not worship false gods and not be defiled and not defile our body, right? Genesis chapter 3. Verse 1. Now the serpent was the more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Almighty had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said you shall not eat of every tree in the garden? A rhetorical question, he already knew. And he just wanted to see her answer, her understanding, and analyze where she at. You know, where can he go around her knowledge? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, You shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto him, You shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the days you eat thereof, your eyes shall be open, and you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. So, did he lie? He deceived. Because if I tell you, hey, don't eat that berry, if that berry is poisonous, if you eat that berry, it's going to kill you. Naturally, you're going to think that if I eat this berry, I'm probably not going to make it 1 or 2 days. I'm probably going to get sick, start throwing up, this and this, seize up, and I'm going to die. But if I told you, hey, if you eat this berry, how old are you? I'm 20 years old. If you eat this berry, you're going to die in about 60, 70 years. That's essentially what Satan did. They started aging. Once they ate that, they started to age.
You back?
So, what we're doing now is, that's how Satan get them. That's how Satan get them. So, let's keep reading. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant for the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise. And she took the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also to her husband with her, and he did eat. And their eyes were open, and the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they shewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So did he lie again? He says, the day you eat of it, your eyes shall be open. You'll be as gods, knowing good and evil. He just deceived them. And so what Satan does is he gives you a little bit of truth. A little bit of lies, and he mixes it in truth. Because their eyes were open. Their eyes were open. And they did not die immediately. So she ate of it. It's like, oh, I didn't die. Maybe the Almighty's wrong. No, but you started aging. Now you started aging. So let's keep going. Back to the pharmacy. Back to the pharmacy. Hold on real quick. So I said an hour. You came back. What does the sign say, bro? All right then. I'll get your phone at 12. Bro, I already said an hour, and you came back, and you're disrupting service. What does this sign say? All right then, at 12 o'clock. All right, good. Keep it pushing. Sorry about that. I try to serve the Almighty, and I feel that just like Satan comes, they want to disturb stuff. But anyways, keep it going. You already know this guy. I told him I try to help him out. He don't want to listen, so that stuff gets me hot, especially when I'm trying to do the work of the Almighty. Shalom. So anyways, back to the pharmacy. This is what it says. This is what he does. He gives you a lot of truth, and just a little bit of lies will get you outside the will of the Most High. Will get you outside believing a lie and or doing something outside the will of the Almighty. Like how they paint Christmas. They make you think that you're serving the Almighty. That little bit of lie, you will think that you're doing the wills, all this and this, and look at Thanksgiving, and we want to thank the Almighty for Thanksgiving. Just a little bit of lies. Just a little bit of lies. Get you outside the will of the Most High. So it's like, no. Now, let's go to this. Back to let's deal with witch doctors. There's a word called witch doctors. Maybe Native Americans had them, maybe places in India, they all called them witch doctors. It translated, they had, and they made potions. And we have our apothecary that he made our ointments. So what can we conclude? A plant or gold in and of itself is not evil. But it's how you use the plants. Whether I use this plant for witchcraft or I use this plant to heal a wound. That's what makes it evil. That's what makes it evil. If I take this gold and I make coins out of it, nothing wrong. But if I take this gold and I make a graven image and worship it and say, these be the gods that delivered us, now it's an abomination. Now, even if we got that golden calf, you had to destroy it and you couldn't even use the gold. Now the gold is fully defiled. So, like the witch doctors today will be called the pharmaceutical companies, and like we have the apothecaries. So the difference is, let's bring this back to scientists. A scientist that studies diseases or studies ailments, and they're neutral. And they may work for the pharmaceutical company, or may they be independent or getting a grant. They work at a university and they get grant money and they study different diseases and they say, check this out. We came out for a cure for cancer. And the pharmaceutical company, the devil's company, right, comes and says, okay, we're just going to patent that. We'll never release it. Or if we release it, we'll just make sure they have to take a pill for the rest of their life, dude. Take a pill for the rest of their life. Take a pill for the rest of their life. Take a pill for the rest of their life. Oh, we came up with the cure for AIDS. Because the scientists studying this, they're neutral. They're just doing their research and, hey, we got a cure for AIDS. Pharmaceutical comes, puts a patent on it, never release it, and oh, you just take this pill every day for the rest of your life, and then that way the HIV virus will not be detected when you get tested. You see where this is going, right? So, we know that through studying, not really the pharmaceutical companies, but through scientific breakthroughs, penicillin, antibiotics, we know that there is a lot of ailments that do treat the stuff that we go through. But there's a lot of stuff that the devil puts in there too, that makes you addicted, that changes your mind. And so I'm going to ask you some questions, and you determine if you should take something or continue to take something. You determine if, hey, this is of the Most High or not of the Most High. And it's going to be based upon discretion, based upon what your ailments. I don't know what each person is going through. Maybe someone is going through cancer. Maybe someone's going through tuberculosis. I can't answer these questions for you. But we do know Satan is in the medicine and pharmaceutical. He's in there. We do know. There's no way around that. And we do know medicine is of the Most High too. So Satan's in that. And we do know the Almighty created the garden. But guess who was in the garden too? Satan was in the garden too, right? So just keep this in mind. Let's keep going. Questions? When you take this medicine, or before you get this medicine, look at the side effects of it. If the side effects, especially dealing with hormone imbalances or dealing with mood swings, suicidal thoughts, then it's probably not of the Most High. If it's something that, and I get it, if 100 people take Anvil or 1,000 people take Anvil or ibuprofen or 10,000 people take ibuprofen, someone could die from that. Yes. So you got to say there was some side effects. Some people are allergic to peanuts. Some people, I get it, right? We understand. Some people are allergic to bee stings. Could a bee kill you? Typically you say no, a bee sting can't kill you. But have people died from one bee sting? Yes. So yes, we understand. But when you see that this is a common occurrence, then hey, maybe you should back off of that. Maybe that drug, because the fact that it's a drug in and of itself is just frowned upon for the people that got to to take, and I'm not going against drugs, but drugs in and of itself, we use ointment and medicine. We'll deal with drugs in a little bit, because I'm going to deal with some definitions. 2, how new is it? If it's very new and there's no real studies, 2, 5, 10, 15 years, it's not like something they rushed and put in people's bodies and now they're getting stillbirth. People got that king cobra, right? That king cobra bite in their shoulder, and look how many people stillbirth, miscarriages, low fertility, men low fertility, women low fertility. So you see what's happening, right? So we see even that king cobra, what they took in the 2021, they try to make mandate, that has spike proteins from the king cobra. From the king cobra, how they made that thing you get in your shoulder, look up the documentary, you'll probably find it on BitChute. They took spike proteins for two different snakes, and ain't it ironic that the same serpent that was in the garden, that old serpent, that devil, Satan, giving you something that has spike proteins from a serpent? You think that was by accident? You think that was by accident? Things that could change your DNA? You think that was by accident? That's what I'm saying. There's things out there. We know medicine is of the Most High, and the garden was Most High. But Satan was in the garden, and Satan is in these pharmaceutical companies. So we need to pray and seek the Most High, because not everything a brother and sister need to put, just because a doctor or a physician or a pharmacist suggests to take this and put this in your body, that doesn't mean it's of the Most High. Let's keep going. How does it make you feel? If you notice that you're feeling like trash, then maybe it's not something you need to take. Just think about it. Oh man, lately, it's hard for me to do this. It's hard for me to get up. And there's some things that will put you out, like melatonin. There's some things that will make you drowsy. We get that. NyQuil, stuff like that. We get that. But typically, I'm talking about this medicine that they want you to keep taking for the rest of your life, that's addictive, that makes you feel like trash, that changes the way you think, whether you're depressed, whether this, whether that, where you have anxiety, whether you can't focus, you can't concentrate. Maybe that's something you not need to be taking, right? How is your spiritual life after taking these drugs? How is your spiritual life? Because have you noticed you prayed less? Have you noticed you read less? Have you been slipping and keeping the commandments less? Maybe it's not of the Most High. Maybe this is not neutral. Maybe it's something you need to reconsider. And no, I'm not going to come here and say all medicine is wrong or all drugs are wrong or the pharmaceutical company is evil, but the medicine that they have, like if I go and buy penicillin does work. It's an antibiotic. If I go and have an affected wound, and we're going to deal with that a little bit. There are things that are legit. Remember, Satan tells the truth like 90%. It's that 10% that kills you. You won't surely die. You're not going to die immediately, but you're going to age now. You're going to die. You'll be as gods knowing good and evil. As soon as they ate that, their eyes were open. So he told the truth. Their eyes were open as soon as they ate that. But it's that little bit of lie in there that got them done for, right? Just like the rappers, the actors, these people. You want fortune and fame? Oh, this and this and this. Oh, sell your soul. And they'll give you all the glamour. But they don't tell you to read the small print of making a deal with the devil. Let's see how that works out, man. Let's see how that works out. And afterwards, look how depressed these people, because they made that contract. They can't get out. They got footage and film of them. And if they try to leave or they try to expose, they're going to expose them. If they try to drop the dime like Cat Williams or whatnot, if they try to do that, maybe they didn't have nothing on Cat Williams. I don't know. I don't do too much detail. Maybe that's why, right? But let these other ones try to drop the dime and do what Cat Williams did and see the videos with them on Epstein's Island. See the videos with them bent over. See them where the girls getting dug out and get peed and dookied on and whatnot. Let that stuff get out. They got dirt on all these people. Like Epstein Island, he had dirt on every politician. They had to listen to what these people, hey, you've been to Epstein Island, we already got footage. You don't pass this bill, you don't get this, you don't do this, guess what's going to happen? They're trapped. They don't tell you that, though. And same thing with the wicked one, right? Let's keep going. How easy is it for you to get off? If it's something like, hey, you got you got this, you got a ringworm. I'm just shooting stuff out there. Put this on twice a day, you'll be done. Cool. Done. Non-addictive. Doesn't change my hormones. I put this on. I get healed. And not just, here, come every month. Come every month. Because we're never going to heal you. Because we want to make money off you. Come every month. So I'm putting drugs in me. Every month. Drugs. 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 Is that what your body's for? Just to take drugs every month? Think about it. You may take drugs to get over something. Bam, you're over something, you move on, right? Let's keep going. Find natural alternatives. BitChute is good at that. BitChute is good at that. YouTube. Check out some herbalists. A lot of YouTube is getting censored. And books. Check out a lot of books too. So let's get into some definitions. And I'm going to show you how they get you. I'm going to show you how they get you. All right, medicine. This is why the herbalists and the YouTube people get shot down. Medicine, definition of medicine. Legal definition. Legal definition. Pertaining and related or belonging to a study and practice of medicine or a science and art of investigation, prevention, cure, or alleviation of disease. Now check with herbalists. FDA considers herbal supplements as food, not medicine. So this is why they'll say, oh, that's not medicine. You can't take that. That's not study, because you said it's the study of this is considered medicine. So they are not subject to the same tested, manufacturing, and label standards and regulation in medicine. So the FDA, and if there is something, they'll try to ban it. Like there's a couple of things I think I have at YouTube that you want to buy before they ban it, because what they do is the pharmaceutical companies wants to buy it because it's proven it works, and then they want to package it until now they're the only ones that can sell it, even though it's a herb and it's cheap, right? Now, right? So, oh, you can't say that's medicine. You can't say you could cure that with this plant because that's not a medicine. That's just a food. You can't legally put medicinal. You can't do that. You can get sued, right? Because you didn't come through the pharmacy. It didn't come through our company. It didn't come through that, right? But check this out. Honey. Say honey, right? Honey can be used at any type of wound at any stage of healing. Researchers have shown honey to be capable of clearing infections, healing infection, surgical wounds, and thwarting off the progression and necrocausal flacidus, whatever Denise, I can't even pronounce it, foreigners gangrene, right? So you go to the doctor, you say, hey doc, I think I got an infected wound. I think I was bit by a brown recluse, a poisonous spider, right? For you guys don't know what that is. And they say, oh, it's an infected wound. You need to take these antibiotics. Take these antibiotics twice a day, blah, 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 or get this shot, whatever, right? Boom, you go home. You come to me and say, hey, dude, I think I got an infected wound. And I got some medicine. What is it? It's honey. Put some honey on the wound twice a day. Rinse out the wound, put some more honey. It'll clear off the infection. No, you can't do that. I can't sell honey and say, medicine against infected wounds. I'll get sued. But once again, your definition of medicine legally is the study and research to cure or to alleviate or to stop disease, right, or ailments. But honey has been studied. It's been proven to stop infections. But because the pharmaceutical companies can't make money off of honey, no, you can't say that's medicine. Ours is, we sell medicine. No, that's not medicine. And there's other plants out there. And so instead of us always have to go to Satan, if you will, I'm not going to say people that study diseases are neutral. They're just scientists. It's the companies that either fund them or the companies that buy the medicine, that buy it out or patent it. Those are the wicked people, the money hungry and the Satan pharmaceutical companies, right? It's not the scientist in and of itself. Like the person that discovered penicillin, he wasn't like a saint. He was just, hey man, check this out. The person that came up with the cure for AIDS with bee sting venom, and then that got patented and put out, and then another guy found out a cure for AIDS, and that got patented and never released. They're just neutral. They're just making medicine. But it's the people that monopolize over it will crush that. And they want to give you this stuff. All that medicine for ADHD. Soon as these physicians, because they like witch doctors, oh, he has ADHD. Here, take this. I have to take this for the rest of his life. Yeah, I doubt that's of God. Because why, if the Almighty wants us to be healed, why would he want you to take a medicine for the rest of your life? Then that means you'll never be healed. What is the purpose? I got to take this for ADHD for the rest of my life, and this is of the Most High? Think about it. I got to take this. Sometimes these people take this stuff and they get addicted, or they come out worse than what they were. So, there's a major gray area with idolatry and the pharmaceutical company. And we do know there's medicine and ointments and bombs, and we do know that there's true physicians, and they do know there's breakthroughs and whatnot. But you're going to have to seek the Most High, because you don't want to put something in you that defiles you. Like a lot of these camps and a lot of these congregations have took that king cobra bite, and they defiled. One, because that king cobra bite has pork spike proteins in it. Pork is a preservative, so it could, like, say there's a medicine. But the shelf life for the medicine is very short because it needs to stay refrigerated or at room temperature. It's very short. So they use pork enzymes or pork spike proteins and mix it with it because it preserves it and increases the shelf life. So a lot of times, a lot of these shots, like I probably even should say, a lot of these bites out there have pork in it. Look it up. You can look this stuff up. You can Google this like right now. And so a lot of this stuff we can't get. And why is it? Do you think it's just by chance they chose pork? By chance they chose an unclean animal that the saints of the Most High can't put in our body? They're not dumb. The wicked one's not dumb. He knew exactly what he was doing. They know. And they want you to come there and they want you to take on their poisoning. Because remember the definition. Look at the definition of pharmakia, the use of administering of drugs. Second one, poisoning. You're going to take in that poison. Try to stay away from drugs if you can. By all means possible. Try to go with the herbs and run it. If you're a prepper, which you should be, if you're a prepper, then every time I'm sick or the kid's sick, I keep the sickness and I keep the medicine and I keep the instructions. So if I need to buy it, say if we need to go, say if there's a means and a way so we could get some stuff, right? Let's just say by chance you have resources to get what you need. Then you have everything you need to diagnose yourself. You could do what you need to do and not depend on the gatekeeper, which most of the time will be people that's not in the will of the Most High. A new drug comes out, could be bad for the body, defile the saints of the Most High. A lot of these physicians get a kickback. These hospitals get a kickback for prescribing this stuff. Physicians, they're not into medicinal. They're just doctors. They don't know all the different medicines that come out. So that you just say, hey, this new drug came out, this helps this and this and this, and it just came out this year. And then you come and you're like, oh, you got this? Oh, I'm gonna prescribe to you this drug. There you go. Take this to the pharmacy. You think these doctors study it's like a physical trainer. A physical trainer is not a nutritionist. They could tell you, like I could tell you what to do and what to eat to help you, but I have not studied in nutrition. These doctors have not studied in medicine. They do a slight course. Like, I know about nutrition. And yes, doctors do know, but all the medicines and all the breakthroughs and all this stuff come, you think they're studying and going through all the paperwork and these clinical trials and this and the side effects for all these drugs coming out? No, they're not. They say this is good, they sign the paper, they subscribe it to you, and then now you're defiled. No. Hey, take your time, seek the Most High. I don't know your situation, but we don't want to get caught in idolatry, and we don't want to defile ourselves practicing with some drugs and some witchcraft stuff. We know Satan's in the medicine, Satan's in the media, Satan's in everything. Satan's in the food. We already know food, some of these ingredients have pork in it, gelatin, L-cysteine, bugs and stuff like that, and we got to look at the ingredients and wonder what this ingredient even means, because I can't even pronounce the word. Satan is in a lot of stuff we eat, a lot of stuff we watch, a lot of stuff we take for medicine, and it's our through prayer, fasting, and supplication. We got to take our time and then run it. You know what I'm saying? We got to run it. So, hopefully, we'll deal with idolatry part 4. Why is it so bad? And what got Israel kicked out of their land to a land that was undiscovered? And what got Israel? What was the last breaking point where he said, you're going to Babylon? And I'll show you why it's so bad. So, with all that said being done, keep standing. Don't drop standards. Give the Almighty a hand clap. Shalom.